It rises every morning, and so do we. With fresh perspectives and innovative ideas, we grow trust for our clients in food and agriculture, in their products, processes, people, and brands. It's all we do, and we do it like no one else can. It's a new day in food and agriculture, with new challenges and bright possibilities. When you need someone you can count on, look east.
Thank you for joining us from Cleveland, Ohio with the Republican National Convention. I'm Spencer Chase with Agri-Pulse Communications, joined now by Texas Delegate Eric Opiela, who is a Texas family farmer and rancher, owns some beef cattle out there, also is a member of the Credentials Committee. And Eric, I see you're wearing the flag of your home states. Is this maybe some other folks are going to walk behind us through the course of this interview, but a lot of Texas delegates wearing this get-up, and it's something of a tradition, is it not?
It is. For over a decade, if you look at us on the national news tonight, they'll focus on the Texas delegation. We are very proud to be Texans, and while we're very proud to be part of America as well, we are very proud to display the flag of our state on Monday, and we'll be wearing different coordinated outfits all week this week.
So Texas folks are definitely going to be easy to spot here throughout the course of this week. But I want to talk a little bit about your time in agriculture and how that relates to your time with the Republican Party. So as an agriculturalist, what do you think is at stake in this particular election?
Well, the future of our nation, frankly, is at stake, and more importantly than anything, the future of our Supreme Court. A lot of farmers and ranchers might not appreciate the importance of the vacancy that we have on the Supreme Court right now. With Justice Scalia passing away earlier this year, the Supreme Court is on a 4-4 deadlock. Things like waters of the United States, things such as our immigration policy, and other very important conservative principles cannot be put into action if we do not have a Republican appointing our next Supreme Court justice. Our next Supreme Court justice will determine the future of American agriculture policy, the future of all of our laws in this nation in terms of judging them for a generation. And so it's very important that Donald Trump and Mike Pence are elected in November, and that people in rural America support our Republican ticket to ensure that we have a conservative Supreme Court going forward.
Now, the Republican Party typically does very, very well in rural America, but there's been some concerns with these particular candidates, especially in their stances with trade and immigration. But you feel that these two candidates, the way they stand at the moment, are still good candidates for rural America?
Absolutely. If you look at the platform that we are adopting today, it takes a very strong stance in terms of opening our agricultural markets to the world and having world agricultural markets open to American commodities. That is something that I'm very proud of as being part of the different committees of the convention, to make sure that those conservative principles are put into action of free trade. It's also important that we secure our border. A lot of liberals confuse having a secure border with having adequate agricultural workers. Until we have a secure border, our agricultural immigration policy that we have cannot be reformed in an effective manner, because we have people coming to America and not working in agriculture. Okay, and I'll share personal experience from recent times. It's very hard for people in South Texas to find good agricultural workers, because we have a flood of illegal immigrants that are coming across farms and ranches in South Texas, passing through, creating illegal trafficking across our lands, and impinging on the private property rights, and then going past rural America into the urban areas. And if we did have a logical agricultural visa program in place, which we won't be able to get passed in Congress until we secure our border, then we can provide adequate labor for agriculture and make sure that our private property rights and the security of farmers and ranchers in border states like Texas can happen.
Now, a lot of undecided voters have kind of described this election as sort of a lesser of two evil scenarios. A lot of folks that are kind of undecided at this point aren't huge fans of either candidate. If there is an undecided voter that has a particular importance to rural America, What is your selling point for the Trump-Pence ticket over the Hillary Clinton and whoever ends up being her eventual vice presidential candidate?
I think the most compelling argument to support Donald Trump and Mike Pence for election to President of the United and Vice President of the United States is the first subject that I just talked about, the importance of our Supreme Court. When you have a 4-4 split, liberals control the agenda on the Supreme Court. We are going to be replacing, hopefully, Justice Scalia, who is one of our strongest conservative justices on the Supreme Court, with a choice between either someone who is nominated by a Republican and conservative administration. I have every faith and confidence that Donald Trump will nominate a strong conservative to the Supreme Court, or someone who will be nominated by Hillary Clinton and will have 8 more years of the same, not just for the next 4 years, but potentially for a generation. And we can't stand for that. Many of the policies with regard to private property rights, with regard to waters of the United States, with regard to our agricultural policies, are going to be before the Supreme Court over the next 4 years and beyond. And ensuring that Donald Trump and Mike Pence are elected to President, Vice President of the United States is going to ensure that we have a fair and conservative Supreme Court looking at our laws in the framework of the U.S. Constitution rather in the framework of whatever the administration wants.
And this might be getting a little bit into the weeds a little bit, but the next president, whoever they will be, is going to be presiding over is not the correct term, but they're going to be in office when Congress is considering updates to a farm bill. That's
Correct.
Expected to happen in 2018.
Correct.
Why would a Trump-Pence ticket make for a better farm bill from an agricultural perspective, do you think?
Well, look at what we've seen with the Obama administration. We've been unable to achieve a farm bill over the last 8 years, and we have at the same time had rulemaking. It has been the growth of administrative rulemaking. You look at the Fish and Wildlife Service's regulations with regard to the Endangered Species Act that have proliferated, the Army Corps of Engineers regulations expanding waters of the United States to the creek behind your house and the puddles in your field. And having a Mike Pence and Donald Trump administration will rein in the administrative rulemaking that has become the de facto making of laws in the United States we've seen over the last 8 years. We will just see that expand, unfortunately, with more of the Hillary Clinton administration, which will continue on the same philosophy of more government is better versus less government is what this country needs.
Eric, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having us, and I encourage rural Americans, especially in our swing states in Iowa, and Colorado, and some of the other states that make a difference. You know, Texas is reliably Republican, but the swing states are so important, and individuals who are involved in agriculture and who reside in rural America will make the difference this fall. And I encourage them to get out and vote and support a President, Vice President of the United States who will support rural America.
That's Eric Opiela from the state of Texas reporting for Agri-Pulse Communications. I'm Spencer Chase.
Thank you.